Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, the Pajama Guy, and now I'm going to be doing a playthrough on Sonic CD. Oh yes, oh yeah, it's Sonic CD. What is considered by many people to be the best Sonic game of all time. I'm still trying to decide that. um, so anyway, I'm just sitting through the title screen just to get to this cool little animation sequence. By the way, it looks awesome. It looks really awesome. Awesome sauce, I should say. It kind of reminds me of Sonic Unleashed's Unleashed there. Sonic Unleashed's opening sequence where that you can't it does it the game does not get as awesome as the intro, but and also in this intro there's a lot of things you can't that Sonic does in this intro which you can't do in the game. I'll explain. Definitely you can't hop on water for one thing. You can't climb up. You can't you can't walk on walls like that. Let's see. Let's try and point out all the things you can't do in the game. Can't. You can't do this in the game. You can't jump into a spin. You can't go into a spin ball mid jump. And you definitely can't go through rocks in the game. And you can't run that fast. God. And also, you cannot jump this high. Honestly, the game is exaggerating so many things already. We're not even 5 minutes into the game. It's already exaggerating itself. It's trying to show us that it's awesome, and really, it's just an okay game, really. Anyway, let's start a new game. I will be trying to get all the time stones in. If I don't, please bear with me. This is a live Let's Play, so if I screw up, I can't really go back unless I do a second playthrough, which I probably won't do because, well, I don't want to do the same game twice. That's something I don't want to do. Anyway, welcome to the first zone of the game, Palmtree Panic. It's pretty much Green Hill Zone, except much more colourful. And I like this zone. It's a very cool zone, very cool opening zone. It sets the tone of the game. Now, the gimmick, or let's say main gameplay mechanic of Sonic CD is time travel. Yes, there is time travel in this game, and well, it's definitely played out a lot better than in Sonic 06. This plays out time travel a lot more, suitably, because in this game it's a gameplay mechanic, not a plot device. So if you hit either a future or past post, if you run at a certain speed, sparks will start to, come off of you. And if you can, like, stay at that speed for a certain amount of time, I think it's like 10 seconds, you can travel in time, and for some reason I failed there when I don't know why it propelled me upwards. That doesn't usually happen. Now, there are two ways you can get the good ending in this game. Yes, there are two endings. There's a good ending and a bad ending. To get the good ending, you can either do these two things. Either you can get all the time stones by collecting 50 rings and going into the giant ring at the end of the level, or you can do it the robot generator method, where you go back into the past of each act, except for Act 3, and you destroy the robot generator in that act, and you do it for pretty much every single level except Act 3 of each zone. And, well, honestly, I'm not very fond of doing the robot generator method. The time stone method is much more difficult, but it's a bit more preferable because there isn't that much exploration. The robot generator method is definitely much easier, but it's a bit more tedious because you have to keep going back and forth. And here I'm trying to show off the time travel in this game. And also you're noticing that I'm doing this move where Sonic does a figure 8. That's called the super peel out. It's kind of like the spin dash, except instead of holding down, you hold up, and you mash the A button. And now we are in the past of the level, and I will only be getting the good future in this one zone for reasons you probably know if you played this game before, and then the robot generator method. Oh, you will know well if I can get to the robot generator. Yeah, there's the robot generator. You just got to destroy it, and then you go to the end of the act. I was about to show off something, but you see, this game is a bit, you know, when you go past the goalpost, you can't go back. You have to, if you you didn't get all the rings, you missed the robot generator, you gotta do the whole stage all over again. But anyway, that's the end of Act 1 of Palmtree Panic. My god, that took a while, you know, for the very first level of the game. But, you know, the game isn't, you know, the game isn't too long. It's definitely a lot shorter than, you know, Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and K. I can definitely say that for sure. Anyway, we jumped into the giant ring, and now we can go into the special stage. Now, these special stages are a lot more trippy than they were in the original Sonic 1. For one thing, their backgrounds are a lot trippier, and also, it's in like a sort of pseudo 3D plane, which I like. So they're very interesting special stages. The only problem is the later special stages are cheap as hell. Like, if you do not know all the stress I went through to get the good ending on my first time trying to get the good ending. Oh, the hardships. Oh, the hardships. Christ almighty. The horrible memories of my temper. My temper at these special stages. The first few special stages, the first few, are okay. You know, they're not too hard or not too easy either. But the later ones will just kick your ass. Like hardcore. Seriously. Anyway, we got a time stone. And yeah, they're basically this game's Chaos Emeralds. And no, getting all the time stones does not make you go supersonic. Ha ha ha, no supersonic for you. It would have been interesting if they added it into the Xbox Live re-release. That would have been an interesting addition, but unfortunately they decided to replace that with Tails. Or at least I can imagine they did. I mean, well, they aren't Chaos Emeralds, they're Time Stones. But hey, you could have worked in a Chaos Emerald sort of thing somehow. Alright, time to go to the past of this. I missed. I'm not able to go into the past. If I can't get the good future in this first zone, I will, after the end of the playthrough, I will show what happens if you get the good future in the first zone. It's very interesting what happened in the good zone the good future of zone 1. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't, you know, beaten the game, or played it at least. But it's enormously hilarious and rather cheesy, if I'm going to be honest. Now, I want to talk about this game's soundtrack. The soundtrack is splitted into two versions. There's, two soundtracks. The game, let me try and rephrase what I'm trying to say. So I have problems saying some things. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But this game's soundtrack. There's two soundtracks to this game. Okay. There's the Japanese and European soundtrack, and there is the USA soundtrack. Now, the original Japanese soundtrack was, of course, the original soundtrack. The US soundtrack came in when Sega, I think they got a new sound team, and they tried to try them out. And I gotta say, I much prefer the Japanese soundtrack. The soundtrack we're listening to right now is the American soundtrack, which is, you know, a bit more mature sounding. Yeah, I really do like both soundtracks in their own ways, but honestly, I cannot tell you how much I love the Japanese soundtrack. It is so sweet, Rave Party, you will not even believe, or at least begin to believe. I mean, goddamn, is it cheesy as all hell. And there's the robot generator, but unfortunately I'm not in the past of the level, so I've got to go find the past post. If you're trying to do the robot generator method, avoid the future post like the plague. They're honestly not very useful unless you want to see, you know, the good future or the bad future if you're really curious. I honestly don't really care. But hey, if you do, go ahead. And here's a little trip to the past. Okay, now we're in the past. Let's go get that robot. So, yeah, I'm playing this live, and I'm using an EasyCap recorder, camcorder, capture card, whatever. I can't hear the game itself. I can see the game, but I can't hear it, so I'm not able to hear the beautiful soundtrack that it has. But you know, if this was the Japanese soundtrack, I'd say how awesome it was. But this is just plain good music. The American soundtrack, the European and Japanese soundtrack is just crazy. I mean, just go and look up the whole soundtrack and listen to it for yourself. You know, because it's just great. Honestly, I love it. Right there, we just saw a metal sonic projector. All it does is just, you know, have more animals appear in the good future, which is, you know, not important to the, you know, it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. However, in the Xbox Live version / PSN, there is a achievement / trophy for getting all of them plus the robot generators. So, you know, if you want to do the robot generator route and get an achievements out of it, you need to get all of the metal sonic projectors, which is a bit, you know, daunting, I should say, because honestly, I really cannot be bothered to get both. It's why I prefer the time stone method a lot more. Still, I consider the time stone method a lot more cheap, and you know, a lot of you can agree with me. Now, I'm playing the Gems Collection version, so the emulation is a bit fast. Whoa, I clipped right through that bumper for some reason. Now, I want to explain these special stages' logic. Now, the water, if you touch it, not only does it slow you down, your time goes down by 10 seconds. You see, you got a timer up there? It's usually about 90 seconds. However, the water makes it as if you'll probably be in the special stage about 30 seconds if you're not very good at them. Honestly, if they took the water out, I guess the special stages might be a little bit too easy, but honestly, they can make some of the latest special stages hell. Like, actual hell. It's like you're already in hell. God. Seriously, I cannot describe how hard they are, but well, I'll talk about their cheapness till we get to them, and I probably won't get the good ending anyway, because of how unfairly hard they are. Just, you know, checking my microphone. I just want to make sure I'm being heard by everyone who's watching this. Now, this is the third active zone, the boss zone. It basically takes place in the future. So you know, if you got the good future, it's all bright and colourful. If you got the bad future, you know, it's all, you know, not very pretty to look at. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you the gayest thing you will ever see in your life. Oh yeah! Pink Robotnik Ostrich at your service. What would Sega's Sonic seem smoking at this time? This game was made in Japan, so honestly I'm not too surprised. But god damn, is this gay? It has to be one of the gayest things I've ever seen in my life. I guess you could call it, you know, Robotnik's Fabulous Egomatic, or something like that. So anyway, that was Palmtree Panic, the first zone. It took a whole nearly 15 minutes to do. Next zone is Collision Chaos.